Hello and welcome back to Bull Bear Trader. Tomorrow we will have a big earning day with big stock like Google, Meta, Microsoft. I'm gonna review 12 stocks that will have earning tomorrow. Starting with the one that report before the bell and after the bell. So first I'm going to start with CAT. Alright, so CAT since last earning is actually bounced from 400 to 5 something, so about 25%. Now let's take a look to see what's going on with the stock. Alright, so let's quickly look at the trend. Okay, so this is the short-term trend. Okay, so right now it's at the bottom of the trend, but looks like it's going to break below, do a pullback. Here we got like a bear flag right here, and it's trending a little bit lower. Long term is still overbought, so I would say 60%. We may have a pullback to 474. At about 60%. 40%. We might have a bounce to after the range, which is around 556 or maybe 555. About 40%. Right now, see if there's anything I can look at. Okay, so this the line from April low all the way to now. You can see it's been hugging the line, and maybe this time we will break below and then test the previous low right here, or high I mean. So this will be the next support. I think that's it for now. Boeing. Right, last look at it until now, trend up a little bit. So short term is getting overbought. Long term is actually oversold. If let me see. So this is the trend line. Okay. I think most likely we have a pullback to 210 at about 55 to 60%. Or 40% we might bounce back and test probably this high at 237. If the number coming harder than expected, and and the outlook is at least neutral to positive. But for now, it might be breaking out. You can see here, there's many times it tried to break out, but it couldn't. Right? So maybe this time it will. But because it's at the top of the resistance channel resistance, so that's a little bit more chance of a pullback. So that's why I gave it 55 to 60%, only 40% to 45% of bounce. Yeah, it for now. Okay, next we have Verizon. Verizon, we can see it's been selling a lot since August, so about a couple months ago to now. So now look like we might have a bounce, but it does have a bear flag here. That means there's a chance of it, just like here you see the bear flag, it took it down here. Now if it cannot take move above this big red candle, then we'll have to go lower. So let me see. Okay, so 37. Okay, so yeah, so 37.65 is the next support. So if we have a bounce, we might come back and test 41.64, 41.60, and I will give this about 60%. Okay, it pulled back to here, 37.60 at 40%. So I got some share of Verizon. If it dipped into this area, it will be a good support, and I will buy some more. I don't buy and sell Verizon too much because I use it as an income strategy. So this is the short term for Verizon. So we can see that it might go down lower. Okay, so let's leave it like this for now. UBS is actually over so short and long term. So it peaked, came back here. You can see this candle here became support and then bounce. So if I chart the low, so we have something like this. You can see that it's already pivot to here, but it's trying to break above and then change the direction of the trend. However, it's still oversold. So there is a bigger chance of a bounce, probably to 40, 50, at about 60%, and 40% of a pullback. Again, it will test this low at 37.50, at 40%. It might even go down to 36 right here at a support. But I think here is a better support. So we will see how it goes tomorrow. ADP. Selling a lot short term and long term. Right? You can see it was as high as 330 and now 280. So about 15% to 18% loss. So let me see. This was the previous high, and we have another low here. Maybe a bit lower. Okay. So, for the short term, we'll have something like this. Okay. So it tried to peek out and break out, but it couldn't. However, it's at a support, so I give it a little bit more chance of a bounce. Probably to right here at 290. At about 60 to 65%. Unless the number and the outlook is not good, we will see it come down and test to the 273 at 35%. And if you look into buy ADP, that will be your chance. I mean, I would do that if it dropped into that area. Next, we have CVS. Okay. So from last earning is when it broke the trend and never came back to test. So it's overbought, short and long term. So short term, we have something like this. Okay. So which means 60 to 65% we will have a pullback to 77. 35% to 40% we have a bounce. And we might bounce higher. The next level would be at 86 and 90. So I will give a 90, even though most likely we might hit 86, but I will call for 90. Because I like to make bold call like this. And it would be crazy if it hit. So if the number coming better and outlook coming is actually neutral or a little bit positive, it will bounce. But most likely I expect a pullback here. All right, Microsoft is the one of the 7 stock that it doesn't want to correct too much and it keep bouncing. The last time I looked at it was about a month ago. All right, so take a look and see what is trend. So far, I failed to predict these stock because it's actually did much better than I can imagine, and it can keep going up. You just never know. So right now you can see it's actually broke out of it. Kind of like try to test the previous high at 555. So that will be the resistance. So if somehow the number coming better than expected, than estimate, like really good, we might see it bounce maybe 10% or a little bit more to 580. But I give this only about 30 to 35%. I expect it to pull back into the channel to 520 or even as low as 508. At about 65%. So this will be the support right here. Okay, so we got the trend channel, resistance, support, and they might get really good number due to a lot of those AI deals and contracts. So it might keep climbing up. Sky limit here. Next we have Google. So Google pulled back a little bit. I expect 230, but it's only came down to 230 something and it bounced again. So Google is actually doing pretty well as well, but not as well as Nvidia and other thing and other Magnificent 7 stock. But right now is actually moving up. So here we got the bull flag. So it shot up. Okay, so it overbought long and short term. Right now it's hard to draw, but if I have to draw a trend line for it, it's gonna be something like this. Okay, so it actually broke out of the channel, so I think it will come back, and maybe it will come back down to 247 at about 60%. But if the number coming really hot, we might see it bounce 10% to hit 300. About 35%. So yeah, right now these stocks are high flying, and and I don't think they are that. My personal opinion on this is that I rather buy other stock that have better value and better chance, and with dividend I can wait, even though these are high, but they can come up really fast, but they can also come back down equally fast. So we just have to be careful. I bought these around 150 something, 160, and then when they came up to 180, 180, 190, I sold it. But I never thought they would go this high. So I have to admit that I missed the boat, but I'm okay with it because I made like about 15% so far this year, and I'm okay with just selling option and other things. But I don't want to take the chance of when they come crashing down, these will come down very fast, just like last time they did, right? So that is just what that's my belief. For Meta, I expected to bounce a little bit and came down and then bounce again. So it kind of play out a little bit like what I expected it. So the next, you can see it follow a little bit and now testing this orange line, acting as it resistant for now. So I would say most likely if the number not good enough and the outlook is just okay, we will have a pullback and it will be around 700. But if the number bad enough or the Fed somehow do not cut, they all can crash it down and it might go all the way to 660. So I'm going to leave it here for now. And I'll give this about 60% due to overbought condition and technical as well. If the number coming really good, it might test the top of the channel at 820. I'm gonna give it about 35-40%. So it's still pretty high because lately these stocks they actually perform really well. Except for these Meta, they bounce already high compared to other one, right? But not as in term of percentage. Meta is actually not doing that well for now. So and you can see it kind of trend down a little bit, right? So if I want to see is short term, like very short term, there's gonna be something like this, and it might test 700 or even lower at 685. But I'm gonna keep these numbers for now. All right, next we have servicenow. So you can see that the bear flag right here, right? It bounced, but then after that it crashed down. bounce and then went sideways a little bit. Okay, so let's see what's going on with ServiceNow. So short term, we have something like this. If we talk about very short term, it's kind of like this. But I think this is not accurate, so I'm going to use this instead. Alright, so it's broke below, came back and test. So I think most likely you're gonna pull back more. And it might test and close this gap. Here, if the number coming weaker and the outlook is negative or weak. Alright, so it will close this gap right here. And I give it about 60%, 40%. Somehow it's surprise estimate, and outlook is turning positive. We may see 1037. Okay, at the 35-40%. So we will see how it is. So if we look from July to now, you can see it's trending sideways but lower. So we will see how it fared this earning. But short term is overbought, but long term is still neutral. So I think pullback is in place. We have to check tomorrow. Next we have KLA. Overbought short and long term. Okay, so short term we have something like this. All right, so it's right at the resistance overbought. So at least 60 to 65% we have a pullback. 35% of bounce. Probably this time, if it does bounce, we might see 1350. Okay, just like SanDisk and other semiconductor stock, it might bounce a lot. Otherwise, we might see 1085 for the pullback. So more chance of a pullback than a bounce, but we will never know. If I okay, so look like here is also touching the top of the midterm resistance as well. So I think that it will pull back. All right, last one will be Starbucks. Overbought short term. Long term is still oversold. Okay, so let's take a look to see what's going on with the stocks. So from last earning was right here. So 90 something, 85. So you see it's still trending down, but look like right now it's trying to break out of this trend. Okay, so I think it's already broke out. But normally it will come back and test. Short term, see something like this. Okay, this is more accurate. So, okay, so let's say it looked like this. So it bounced already, right? And now it hitting this resistance right here. Overbought hitting resistance, it will pull back probably around 81, 82. But that is a good thing because it will bounce back after. So I give this about 60% to 65%. 30% it will bounce to 92, 50. Just like the UPS stock. If they lay off a lot of people, they save money. So I guess that's how they bounce. Or just because technical. So normally I look at the stock and I see how it is and how the news will play out. And normally, if it's like that, then it will give us a head and shoulder. If you look here, maybe we're gonna have something like this. We will have inverse head and shoulder, and boom, we will jump to 90 something in no time. Okay, but a bounce to 92, I give it 40%, 35 to 40% only, more likely of a pullback. Okay, but even if it's pullback, it will bounce. So I think I might come in for a quick play if it does, for a quick bounce. So these are my level. Thanks for watching. Please hit a like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.